Welcome back to this episode of By the Wayside. I'm your host, Jordan Middlebrook. Of course, I'm going to say that a couple times throughout this episode. On today's episode, I'm going to be speaking with comic book creator, I wrote it down, Allison Danger. I don't know why I forgot that. We're going to be talking about her new comic book, an event that's coming up. We're also going to be talking about Wayside Creative, the wonderful supporter of this show. Also, we're going to be talking about a little bit of movie trivia. That's all coming up on this episode. Don't go anywhere. Oh. Welcome back to this episode of By the Wayside. Of course, I am your host, Jordan Middlebrook. I said it earlier at the start of the show. Here's something that's quite interesting. Usually I start the show with a little bit of an opening. What is that tinging noise?
Oh, it's Wolverine's tag.
Dang. Let's throw up the boop.
Want me to help you out? You sure?
And we're back.
I'm Jordan Middlebrook. Welcome back to Wayside.
Don't steal my jokes, please.
Why?
Usually I do an episode, I will start the show, I'll go right into like an opening monologue and I'll be like, hey, let's talk about why carrots are orange. Not doing that this time. This time we're going directly into the guest. Today's guest, of course, is comic book writer Allison Danger. Allison, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. You've done a lot of work. You've been doing a lot of comic book writing over the last couple of years, and I'll get directly into the questions because I know
there's a lot to say.
There's a lot to say. Allison.
Yes.
A lot of your work is self-admittedly about dealing with death.
Correct.
Going forward, will you try to avoid that or lean into it?
I will definitely try and lean into it. I think that's kind of where my heart and soul comes from when it comes to writing. And most stories, I'm a big fan of killing your darlings, and they don't have to last forever, like the Buckies and the people that just keep coming back over and over and over again. So, and it's where a lot of my education and background comes from. So to be able to tell a meaningful and important story that hinges on somebody's death, or rebirth in that way, it always feeds me in a way that tells a really great story.
So it's not like every single thing that you write or you've helped create is just like someone has to die or someone dies. It's just like in one of your books, The Best of Us, you talk about it's almost like the specter of death.
Yeah, so the idea is that it is ever looming and ever present for everyone. And that can be incorporated in a lot of different ways. We can talk about what it's like when it is impending, what it's like to feel at the end of your life, like The Best of Us. In Blood Motor Oil, it's more about what it means to be alive as opposed to death itself. So it just talks about how those things are interpreted and how we can interpret them in different fun ways through sci-fi and storytelling. And, maybe we'll tell a Western about, death and dying, but you can incorporate it into all of these different great stories, and it can be a really great gut punch for storytelling.
That's a good way of putting it. Death always sucks, but the thing too about death is that there's the absolute death, taxes, and pooping.
I mean, yeah, I guess. Yeah.
You don't poop? Everybody poops.
Yeah.
Allison, I've noticed a trend with writers saying that comic book writing is the easiest way to convey their creative choices. Do you find that to be true?
I think it really depends on the story for me. Sometimes I feel like it's a lot easier to have a really drawn out narrative. So when you're writing long form prose, whether it's nonfiction or fiction, to be able to describe it in such minute detail and give it life that you really don't have the opportunity to do in a visual format. Mm-hmm. But there are a lot of stories that I've not only grown up on, but grown to love that really do fit a visual medium. Yeah. So for me, that medium is always comics. For some people it's movies, for some people it's animation, but if I'm going to lean on one form of media, it'll be comic writing.
It would make sense that you're doing that because a little later on in this episode, we're going to be talking about a publishing company that you're a part of that is almost exclusively comic books. So awesome.
Coming up.
It's a little sneak
right
peek.
After this.
Don't throw it a break. Don't throw it a break. Was that funny?
He threw it a break.
Yeah, I did. No, you threw it a break and I just had to follow through.
We're back.
I do all the editing. Please don't confuse the editor. It's easy to do. It's easy to do. Allison.
Jordan.
I want to kind of talk a bit more about that subject there. I've spoken to a bunch of different artists and writers on various episodes of By the Wayside.
Yes.
And they've talked about how writing a comic book potentially is a lot easier than writing a movie because you're not restricted by a budget. But I've noticed from my perspective, I also have an intimate knowledge of your writing process and how you go about your writing. When you take your stories that really do have a lot of fantastical elements in it, but are also into this small little world, do you think of things like that, like the realism of your story, like, oh, you know, Dracula can't exist in this, but
he can.
But he can.
Yeah.
So do you feel the same way about whether or not writing is the idea? Sorry, I got something itching my nose. The idea that writing is it's just something.
Sorry,
there's something.
cut that. There's a fly.
I'm not cutting it. That fly is living on your shoulder
No.
forever. Yeah. Sorry, my show.
No
Do what I want. Go ahead.
Why don't you ask the question again?
Let's ask the question again. Writing comics, is it easier for your imagination? You're not constricted by a budget. When you're creating, do you think about that when you're writing, or do you just go kind of like just hell's bells, I'm writing a giant robot tank into it?
A little bit of both, which is kind of a rude answer. The first time that I'm writing a script or an idea or a synopsis or anything like that, it is write like you're going to die tomorrow.
Oh,
just get it out of me and onto paper and out into the real world. When the things like budgetary restrictions and editing and all of that come into it is in the multitudes of revisions and edits that come after just getting it out.
Yeah.
And so I think there is a concept of having some sort of budgetary restrictions even when you're making comics as opposed to movies, because you do have to consider every page costs to produce. It costs you with your artists, your illustrators, your inkers, your letterers. Comics are a team sport, so you need to make sure your team is looked after.
I see. Okay.
So if we're doing that and we're talking about having, 5 pages of these beautiful spreads or these beautiful panel work of just showing the universe, that is an investment.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to pay all of those people to contribute to those 5 pages with, no dialogue or different things like that. So it does factor into a budgetary restriction of how grandiose you can be with your visuals.
Interesting.
That being said, if you've got really great artists that have a creative knack in designing characters, you can have a robot tank and he can be on every page.
So I'll tell you one thing about things that I like when it comes to comic books, movies, books, and all this stuff. If there's a robot in it, I'm going to like it.
Yeah.
That's just for anyone that's watching that wants to buy me something nice. If there's a robot in it.
Robots, Dracula, vampires.
Vampires.
Monsters in general.
Yeah, any kind of monster.
Or you.
Yeah, if I'm in it, I'm buying it.
Yeah.
Allison.
Yes.
Your newest work, Post-War.
Yes.
Tell me about it.
So Post-War came out of a smaller anthology work, and what it started out as is definitely not what it ended up being in the end. So ultimately what ended up happening is it's become this 4-story anthology. I wrote each of the stories within this universe, and a different artist took on each of the stories. So they all look and feel very different from one another, but they all are contained within the same narrative. And that is people that came home after World War II that historically were not taken care of in the best way that they should have been. So it really does focus on things like, being gay in the Army in World War II, being a woman in the Army or the Navy or the military, I guess is kind of the catch-all word, and being treated differently in that way, coming home with something like PTSD or mental health concerns, or also being of a different ethnicity, and the trials and tribulations that can come with that.
Yeah.
That, you weren't maybe part of the ticker tape parade, the Allies won celebrations, and how that's transpired over the years and how it looks to us now.
Yeah.
So not just the book, but we ended up doing a really interesting art installation along with it.
Yeah, awesome. We'll talk about that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, not even a little bit. Right now, you have an event. Sorry. You have an event here.
He's on fire, ladies and gentlemen. He's on fire.
I'm doing amazing today. You have an event here at Wayside Comics and Cocktails
Correct.
on August. That fly is absolutely loving this episode today. At Wayside Comics and Cocktails on August 16th.
Okay. Fly, get him.
What am I supposed to do?
Get it. Don't like it around me. Okay, go. Speaking of post-war.
Speaking of post-war, Allison, you have an event here at Wayside Comics and Cocktails on August 16th.
Correct.
Talking about post-war and a little bit after the break, Wayside Creative. Can you tell me about what's happening on August 16th?
So close.
Go ahead.
Do you really want to know?
Yeah.
On August 16th, we're launching the book Post-War, and we're also soft launching our publishing imprint, Wayside Creative. So a little bit about that event. We're just really trying to show you what we're capable of. And in that same vein, we're having an open house party for anybody who wants to join us. We will have creatives in the shop as well. So a couple of our cover artists will be here, myself as well. Two of the artists are not in the country, so they won't be able to join us. They send their regrets. But it'll be a really great time. You'll be able to take in the art installation, and you'll also get to meet the rest of the Wayside family. So Wayside Creative, which we'll talk about a little bit more after the break, is part of a bigger umbrella.
Yeah. I know I'll be there, you'll be there, and
Yeah.
it's a great way for the audience, or not the audience, but the people in the public to come and see what Wayside Creative is about, but also they'll be able to get their hands on a physical copy of Post-War.
Amazing.
It's
Yes.
a long time coming, and I'm
Long
looking
time.
forward to it. Okay, so Allison, don't go anywhere. You don't go anywhere. You don't go anywhere, because right after this, we're going to be talking more with Allison Danger, but we're going to be talking about Wayside Creative, and that is right after this. Welcome back to this episode of By the Wayside. I am still here with Allison Danger, of course. When I introduced her at the beginning, it was comic book writer Allison Danger. During this segment, it is publisher Allison Danger. And I'm going to, right here, your name.
Ah.
It'll say Allison Danger. I'm not changing it. It says Allison Danger. I'm not going to put publisher. Publisher Allison Danger from Wayside Comics. Again, thank you very much. Tell them, what is Wayside Creative?
Wayside Creative is part of kind of a bigger family, and the bigger family is Wayside. So Wayside Creative is the publishing branch of our brand. Wayside, yes. So what that means is that we're really in the process of building a library of creator-owned intellectual properties, and we really want to bring those voices to the public.
Yeah.
So especially, marginalized voices, people who haven't necessarily been given the opportunity to have their voice heard. So we really want to elevate independent creators from the area, local, Canadian, good storytelling.
Yeah. Allison, you're talking about Wayside Creative. And I know that we had said earlier that August 16th, of course, is the public launch of Wayside Creative, along with the public launch of your book Post-War.
Correct.
Post-War is a part of Wayside Creative. Are there other books associated with Wayside Creative in your catalog?
Yeah, we've got a number of books right now. We have The Best of Us, Blood and Motor Oil, We Save the World, St. Clair.
Awesome.
And Post-War.
Yeah, it's a night. Everything you've mentioned is this. It's something for everyone. It really is. It really is. Each one is an emotional gut punch, but also it's coupled with some great writing, great artwork. It's all great work. I've read it all. I think it's pretty amazing. Speaking of Wayside Creative, Allison, publisher Allison Danger, why is it important for you to head this publishing company?
I think I just become one of the prongs that embodies the Wayside brand. We're hosted wonderfully and work out of Wayside Comics and Cocktails, who's always been run by Omar. And he really puts creators first in every decision that's made for this shop, whether it's comics or having creatives in. And what we really want to do is embody that, but from a publishing perspective. So I've taken the reins on that because it takes many hands to make things come together. So while you look after the By the Wayside show, I look after Wayside Creative, and Omar heads our Wayside Comics and Cocktails.
Yeah.
So we're each able to take a part of it.
Yeah, a little piece of Wayside lives in all of us.
Aw.
Let's put that on a shirt. Kind of like this Wayside shirt I got.
Ooh,
That's pretty cool.
handsome.
Oh, thank you. Allison.
Yeah.
What's next for Wayside Creative?
This fall, we're really going to concentrate on getting ready for convention season next year. We want to expand our catalog, so we'll be looking at bringing in some other creators to fill out that amount.
I didn't ask this question earlier beforehand, and you don't have to answer it.
Oh, good.
This is all on television. Is there anything you're looking for specifically that maybe someone might want to reach out to you?
That's a really great question. Again, particularly we're looking for underserved voices. So anybody that's been marginalized or has a story about marginalization to bring forward. I think that's key to elevating different voices within that area.
Yeah.
But really what we're looking for is good storytelling.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be capes and tights or swords and shields or sandals and gladiators. We really are open to all of those ideas, and not just comics as well, short and long form prose. But at the heart of it, we just want to tell really great stories.
Cinematic storytelling from innovative voices.
You got it.
I did it. I think I did it. I think I've said it a couple times on this show. Allison.
Yes.
I can't thank you enough for taking the time, speaking with me on this episode of By the Wayside. I know you had to travel very far to get here, so it is really awesome that you did. You don't go away. You don't go away because, like I said, we started this episode a little bit different. We didn't do a cold open, or we didn't do a Jordan little monologue jokey thing.
I feel like I'm in for some trouble.
You are. We went directly into the guest. That was you. But now we're going to go right into a fun little movie thing with Allison Danger. So don't go anywhere. We're going to be doing funny movie stuff right after this. Welcome back to this episode of By the Wayside. Of course, we were just talking to Allison Danger about Wayside Creative, the publishing company that she heads up, of course. We also spoke about the comic work that she's done in the past that always has to have, not always has to have, but has a theme of death sort of running through it. So I thought it'd be interesting because I like movies. I thought it would be interesting.
Jordan likes movies.
Jordan loves movies. Allison, movies are meant to make you feel things. But why does sadness have to be one of those feelings? So in no particular order, I have 5 movie deaths that you have to guess.
Okay.
And you only get 5 guesses. And we'll start from number 5. And if you get it right, I didn't plan this out.
5 movie deaths, like the saddest ones or the hardest ones or Jordan specific ones? Like how are we qualifying these deaths?
Well, it's interesting that you're here. So I would say, Allison, let's do that. Allison, what would you think? I would think on this list of 5 in no particular order would be a sad movie death.
Oh, I'm going to go with Optimus Prime. Is he on the hit list? Survey says?
Survey says no, Optimus Prime is not on the list.
I think you lied to the list.
You might think so. Allison, you only get 5 guesses. So that was one, and you lost. So, Allison, what's another movie death that traumatized you as a kid?
A movie death that is it Professor or the Doom guy from Roger Rabbit?
No.
What?
It is not.
How are we?
It is not.
You lied to this list.
What is his name? Judge Doom.
Thank
it is
you.
not Judge Doom. No. This isn't working.
Hodor.
This is not working out the way that I wanted it to, Allison. I hope everybody is playing along at home. Allison,
Jordan's random TV deaths.
No, I said movie deaths. Maybe
movie
that's
deaths.
where we're getting wrong here. Okay,
well,
Allison, so I'm going to tell you what number...
Spock and Kirk.
Spock, no, nowhere near that.
Oh, okay.
Number 5, the Iron Giant.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's hard. That's a hard one.
The Iron Giant, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so you have... I'm going to give you 3 more guesses. This show's only 28 minutes long, Allison.
We only have so much time.
We only have so much time, Allison. I'll ask you again. A movie death that traumatized you in the early 90s. Go.
Traumatized me?
Yeah, sure. No, traumatized every 12-year-old in the early 90s.
Oh, Land Before Time.
That is in the 80s.
The Brave Little Toaster.
That is also in the 80s. You are incorrect, so we're going to go
Wait. I got another one.
straight to number 3. Hold on, don't look.
That's 2.
No, this one. We're going to this one.
Okay.
It's Mufasa.
Oh.
It's Mufasa, Allison. Mufasa is the Lion King.
Long live the king.
The Lion King. Okay, so let's get back to when you were a little kid in the late 80s.
Okay.
There was a death of an animal that made you cry. Which was it?
Is it Bambi?
I said the 80s. You are absolutely wrong. It's actually the ant from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
What?
Also known as Auntie. Everybody cried. If you didn't, well...
Oh, Homeward Bound. Is it on the list? Homeward Bound.
No one died in Homeward Bound.
No, but everybody cried.
That's not
and
how,
you thought they died.
That's not how this game goes. I'm sorry, Allison.
This game is garbage.
So we got 2 more on the board. 2 more on the board, ladies and gentlemen. And if Allison doesn't get them, I believe she's walking home. Allison, there was a horse that died. Name that horse.
Artax.
It is Artax. It is finally Artax. Finally, she got one right. I can't believe that. That's insane. Allison, I am knocking on the door of death, but everything's just so wavy. Who died?
Knocking on the door of death from waves?
Can I get a timer, please? 5, 4, 3,
Mickey Mouse.
2,
Steamboat Willie.
1. At what point
Donald Duck.
What point did Mickey Mouse and or Donald Duck die? No, it's Jack Dawson from Titanic.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am Jordan Middlebrook. This has been the 5 movie deaths game that Allison only got 1 point in.
Oh,
she lost.
He used a Sharpie.
Allison, again, thank you very much for coming in today. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
That
this didn't make you too sad.
Yeah, and yeah. Go watch some
My
movies.
Girl.
Go watch
My
some
Girl.
movies. That's it. Bye. Welcome back to By the Wayside. Of course, no episode is complete without one of the fastest timed Omar recommends. Omar, take it away.
Well, can you wait 1 second?
Nope.
I'm going to just put my Wayside hat on. All right, do you guys need to know what to read for the rest of this summer? Well, I'm going to start off by recommending Proof by Alex Grecian and Riley Rossmo. You a fan of Hellboy? Do you like cryptids? Do you like mystery? Well, imagine if Bigfoot was out there solving the mysteries of cryptids. It's a phenomenal series, launched the career of Riley Rossmo. Highly, highly recommend this book. It's a banger. It's a great story. Check it out. Next up, what does the summer remind me of? It reminds me of being young, impetuous, and a little bit rebellious. So let's recommend Grommets by Rick Remender, Brian Posehn. This is a fantastic time capsule of what it was like being a kid in the 90s and skate culture. Definitely check it out. It's unbelievably well written, and the characters in this book are fantastic. You will relate to them. Next up, I'm going to recommend, because everyone loves true crime, Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. Do you like anthropomorphic animals? Do you like serial killers? Well, let's bring them together and make a really cute serial killer story. This one will shock you. It will surprise you, and it is phenomenal. So well written. If you like Silence of the Lambs and you like those true crime tales, definitely check out Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees.
Previously on By the Wayside. In all my years of doing By the Wayside as the host, producer, editor, no one once has asked me a Jordan recommends for a comic book. Hey, Omar.
What does Jordan recommend?
I recommend, what's that book you recommended yesterday?
Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees?
That's a good book. I recommend that. Let's check that out. And now back to the show.
And lastly, let's go for a little whimsy. We're going to recommend Flight. They're putting these books back into print. I love Flight. These are some older books. Concept is very simple. They just gave a bunch of artists the word flight and let them run with it, whatever they wanted to do. I discovered a lot of artists and creators, especially from Europe, through these books. Definitely check them out. It will let your imagination soar. I got that. Anyway, catch you guys by the wayside. Read some comic books. Catch you later. Enjoy the rest of your summer.
Hey, thanks, Omar. I really appreciate it. If you didn't catch any of what Omar just said in that Omar recommends, because he was talking faster than the Flash runs, I encourage you to come to Wayside Comics and Cocktails, find him somewhere in this amazing establishment, and ask him to repeat everything he just said. Catch you in a second. Welcome back to this episode of By the Wayside. This episode has kind of been all over the place, and one of the things I've mentioned to you in the past about these episodes is sometimes I have to record something one day and record something the other day. This episode is no different. You will note that I have a cut on my forehead because in my day job, I took a branch to the face. So while this episode, you have some nice, pretty visuals of this mug, this time, not so much. I'm Jordan Middlebrook, and I'm back on this episode to tell you something very interesting. And there's a video that I'm going to show you that was on Instagram, and it was very popular, and a lot of people around Newmarket and related to Wayside Comics and Cocktails shared it. Specifically, me at my at the Wayside Show Instagram handle, which maybe will pop up here. But I thought everyone here on YouTube and Rogers TV needed to see this as well. So what this video is, this video was produced by the Inkwell Literary Festival. Now, what is the Inkwell Literary Festival? I wrote it down so I knew exactly what to say. It's York Region's newest literary festival launching in October. And if you're curious, I want you to go to their website at inkwellfest.com. Hopefully that worked out the way. Inkwellfest.com. Inkwellfest.com. Let's watch the video. And we're going to stop for a second. This video that was produced by Inkwell Fest, a lot of people ask me, what is Wayside Comics and Cocktails? What is Wayside Comics and Cocktails? This video explains a lot.
When Newmarket needs a hero and the comic book community cries out for connection, Wayside Comics and Cocktails rises. Part comic shop, part cocktail bar, all heart. Nestled in the heart of Newmarket, Wayside is more than just a store, it's a sanctuary for makers and creators. Within its rustic walls, stories are told, drinks are poured, dice are rolled, and friendships are forged. The shelves, stacked with graphic novels, indie zines, rare collectibles, and a powerhouse lineup of Canadian creators. This isn't just a space, it's a scene with spotlight events, art battles, panel discussions, and a whole section dedicated to local authors and comics. Wayside is where the Canadian comic community assembles. So if you find yourself wandering down Main Street, don't just pass by, step inside, join the story.
I want to thank the Inkwell Literary Festival for providing me a raw copy of that video so that I could show it to everybody here, everybody that's watching this episode of By the Wayside. Again, make sure to head to their website to find out more about York Region's newest literary festival that's launching in October, inkwellfest.com. inkwellfest.com. I'm Jordan Middlebrook, and there's lots more on this episode of By the Wayside. So, like I always say, don't go anywhere. And of course, that was an entire episode of By the Wayside. I hope you had a lot of fun on today's episode. I liked kind of changing things up, doing things with a little bit surprise twist, talking about the wonderful people at Wayside Creative. It was a great episode. I had lots of fun. And the lighting is just exceptional today. Exceptional. Hey, I want to thank Allison Danger, of course, for coming on the show. I also want to thank Omar for his amazing Omar Recommends and letting us use the Wayside Comics and Cocktails in Newmarket, Ontario for the set for the show. That's always awesome and fun. I've said a couple times throughout the episode, I just said now that this show is supported by Wayside Creative, so make sure you go and check out this new and exciting Canadian independent publishing company that, of course, is run by Allison Danger. So let's turn here. I like doing this part. You turn like this, and then the camera shifts. Follow, like, subscribe, share, comment on all the social media. It's right here, of course. I can't remember what's at the top. Facebook, Instagram, this one, and then the website. So whatever I just pointed at, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your foes. If you're like Dick Tracy, you've got multiple weird name foes, right? I do. It's weird. Anyway, thanks again for popping by on this episode of By the Wayside. Oh, start talking, my mouth doesn't match what's coming out of my brain. I'm host Jordan Middlebrook. I will catch you by the wayside.